history's censored secrets about the Ananoki gods. Archaeologists around the globe were amazed after discovering and achieving some similar findings. The discovered Sumerian texts have to some extent answered these similar ambiguities. For the first time, 14 clay tablets with Sumerian writings were discovered in Iraq. The Sumerians had a lot of knowledge in the field of astronomy, to the extent that they were able to observe their movements by classifying the stars and planets. Works belonging to the Sumerian rulers have been discovered, on which there is a seal with the image of the solar system, and it is clear that it was used as a signature. But the amazing thing about this signature is that there is one more planet than the planets that we know today. And the planet is called Planet X, or Nibiru, which is designated as the residence of the Ananuki Gods, and the writings indicate that this planet enters the orbit of the Earth once every 3,600 years. Apparently, because of the rarity of gold in Nibiru, the Ananukians needed gold to protect their planet from the sun's rays, or to treat diseases or issues that are not yet clear to us. According to human knowledge, this metal has settling properties and could resist cosmic radiation. The Ananukis traveled to other planets to explore gold and finally reached Earth. They settled in Mesopotamia and built a city called Eridu, the border between Iran and Iraq. The Ananukis started to extract gold from the Earth until they decided to bring an alien race called Igigi to the Earth for heavy work. This race worked hard and humiliatingly for the Ananukis for years, until they rebelled against them and were finally defeated and destroyed. Now the Ananukis needed new workers, so they decided to create a creature themselves, and strange creatures called the Nephilim were formed, which were not intelligent at all and did not even have the power to control themselves. They continued to combine the genes of human ancestors and their own genes until a generation named Adamu was created and formed, the first generation of humans. Ananuki loved humans and allowed them to live. It is written in the tablets that they owe their knowledge to the Ananukis. Ananukis taught humans new information, such as governance, medicine, minerals and their use, architecture, music, astronomy, science, and genetics. And in return they benefited from gold, food, and valuable minerals from the earth. In the Sumerian stone inscriptions, some important Ananuki are mentioned. In Sumerian mythology, the oldest god on earth was Anu, who was the embodiment of heaven and had infinite wisdom. The goddess Kai represented the earth and its wife. After these two, the god Enlil, who was the lord of winds, storms, and responsible for maintaining the sky. The next god, Enki, who was responsible for protecting the oceans, rivers, and guarding the city of Eridu. The moon of the earth also had a ruler named Nana. This ruler was the god of scientific concepts and astronomy and taught people. God Oto is the embodiment of justice, truth, and morality. The goddess Inanna, the sister of Otto, who was known as the goddess of fertility, war, and political power. The footprints of the Ananukis are not limited to the Sumerian civilization, but thousands of kilometers on the other side of the globe, we also encounter similar traces of the Mayan civilization in the American continent. Archaeologists came across a collection of strange sculptures that belonged to thousands of years ago, and these creatures are wearing clothes similar to the clothes of today's astronauts. It is as if the people were scared to see their different form and interpreted them as gods. Strange shapes have been found in South America, which are known today as the Nazca lines. These giant lines and shapes are drawn on the desert and mountain slopes. which have many similarities to the images of Ananukis in Sumerian tablets and Maya works. In the painted images of the Egyptian, Sumerian, and Mayan civilizations, you can see people offering gold, food, and fruit to the gods. The arrangement of the Egyptian pyramids is derived from the position of the stars and planets. Archaeologists discovered findings of gold mining around the Tigris and Euphrates rivers and estimated that the gold in those mines was mined tens of thousands of years ago, even much earlier than the ancient Egyptian era. But what kind of use did the civilization that recently acquired the technology of the wheel use gold? And where did this amount of extracted gold go? Prepare yourself for another amazing event. Sumerian texts mention a blue stone that causes illness. A mining company in the 1970s, after starting the extraction of a uranium mine in Africa, came to the conclusion that the percentage of available uranium is much lower than the expected amount. After a lot of research, they came to the conclusion that millions of years ago, the uranium reserves in this area correspond to the area specified in the Sumerian texts of the landing of the Ananukis. This fact amazed all archaeologists. These issues were settled among the Sumerians, and all the stories were common to them. These beliefs were added over time, but the main essence of the stories was the same. According to the Sumerian texts, the Ananukis come to Earth every few thousand years to provide their needs, and in each trip, with the information they teach humans, they cause significant progress in the civilization of mankind. The full identity of the ancient extraterrestrials called Ananuki is not known, but traces of their presence in the corners of the Earth have become an amazing and undeniable issue, and maybe some of them never left our planet. Share your comments with me. Thank you for listening to me. Hope to see you soon.